10 reasons you should never move in to a woman's house. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show, Secrets of the Mind of a Man. I'm your man, KTJ, and this is our session where we get into it. And tonight we're doing talk about it. Never, listen to what I'm saying here tonight. Never move in to a woman's house. So we're going to get into it, you guys. So welcome to the show. I'm KTJ. If this is your first time coming here, welcome to the show. We talk about dating. We talk about relationships. We talk about love. I'm here in Atlanta where it all goes down, and there's lots of conversations about relationships here in Atlanta. So we've got a lot to talk about. But tonight, you guys, I want to pinpoint this conversation tonight because I got 10 reasons. Now, I want y'all to jump in on this when you're watching this. Whenever you get to see this show, I want you to jump in on this. I got 10 reasons a man should never move in to a woman's house. All right. Let's jump right into it. Let's get into it. All right. So look, let me set the scene for a minute. As I'm telling you guys this, I'm not necessarily on the woman's side. I'm not on the guy's side. I'm on the side of two people coming together and getting what they want from relationships. That's whose side I'm on. All right. So let's get into it. Number one, the first reason a man should never move into a woman's house is he loses his independence as a man. Now, let me just phrase this. I'm talking about this from the perspective of a man, two people coming together, making the decision to move in together. All right. So let me tell you where this comes from. I got a friend of mine who was telling me about her friend. She's got a guy friend who met this woman, right? They got to talking, they got to liking each other. But he told my friend, he says, you know what? I'm going to just take it slow with this woman. He met the woman at church. Two good church going folks. He said, I'm going to take my time with this one. I don't want to mess it up. I want to get to know her in a real way. And he was like, I've rushed before, but I ain't going to rush this time. And then my friend was like, oh, that's great. You're really going to take your time. And he gave her all the reasons why he was going to take her time. It messes things up. I jump in too fast. And my friend says, this guy, though all those things are true. And she said, what else is true is that he's jumped in with those people that he barely knew. He's kind of a couch surfer, right? He's always kind of in need of a woman's help in some kind of way. He was married before, and his wife, couldn't really respect him because he could never really do anything, but he was a really, really nice guy. Y'all check this out. Check out this story. This guy, he's a really, really nice guy, but he just can't get it together. Okay. And so women see him and they're like, oh man, he dresses nicely. He's well groomed. And my man will show up this Sunday morning, so he's got some spiritual beliefs and he's got all these things. He looks like a great package, but none of the relationships seem to work out. Okay. And so it was, he found this woman. The woman was like, whoa, how could a man who looks this good, who's this tall, who looks like he's the kind of guy I want to be with, how could he even be single? She thought she hit the jackpot on this guy, right? So they get together. He said, and the girl, she had the same opinion. She was like, you know what? This guy seems like somebody, so I'm ready to rock and roll with this guy, but I'm not really totally sure. My friend says 2 weeks later, she talks to the guy again, and he says, oh, we moved in together. We decided to move in together. And my friend was like, wait a minute, what happened to all that slow talk? What happened to all of that take your time talk? And so he's like, well, we kind of changed our minds, and we just felt the connection, and we decided to go ahead and just go for it, right? And so naturally, my friend is baffled. She's like, "What happened with this?" So I want to tell you guys what happened to that guy. Y'all know I was a men's counselor for 17 years. I talk to men. I kind of know men, right? That guy got wrapped up into this woman and started thinking about the advantages of being in this woman's house. In the same way he had the advantages of being in his ex-wife's house, right? And both of those women had something in common. They saw something in this guy. They saw possibility in this guy. But listen, if there's some ladies that's listening, let me tell you, you can see possibility all you want, but it's up to the individual to decide if they're going to be what they want to be. Because you don't want people trying to change for you. I know y'all, we hear it around social media. We hear it all the time. Oh, if a man really wants you, he'll change for you. Well, I think that's bull, because I don't think that a man should change for you. A man should only change for himself. All right. So, those two people jumped in, and I know it's not going to work, but you know what? Hey, sometimes people got to learn the hard way. All right. So, look, let me give y'all these 10 reasons that I believe that a man should never move into a woman's house. And I will give you this caveat, y'all. Here's the caveat. I feel like unless you are in a committed relationship where this is like y'all getting ready to get married, marriage is in the horizons. Y'all 2-3 months off from the wedding. You know what I mean? Like there are some circumstances, but for the most part, for 99%, a man should never move into a woman's house. Here we go. Loss of independence. Okay. When a man moves into a woman's house, he moves in and listen, you're going to lose something, right? Because now you have to be accountable to somebody. You didn't have to be accountable before, but now you do, right? You have to be upfront about things, right? And sometimes guys some people are not really ready to do all of that, right? So there's going to be some loss of independence. If you move in with somebody, they're used to not having anybody in the house. Now you're there. And there's nothing that'll kill a relationship more than a person being in your space all the time. All right, let's move on. Number two, financial concerns. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Finances. Are you going to share in the finances? Because, finances is the reason that people generally get together like this. People get together to save money. Let's call a spade a spade. People figure that, and this happens a lot with the women. The women will jump into a situation with a guy. She'll say, yeah, you know what? Come on in. Don't worry about the money. Just come on and stay with me. Come on, stay with me. Don't worry about the money, right? But the don't worry about the money is a very temporary thing. My man, are you listening to me? That don't worry about the money thing is temporary. She don't mean that to be long term. It's temporary. It's for you to get yourself established and then jump on the wagon. Okay? Now, some guys never jump on the wagon, and that causes the wagon to stop. Okay? So you need to find out, what are we doing financially? And is this financially beneficial for just you? Or is this going to be financially beneficial to us? Because I know a lot of guys, I was talking to a guy the other day, says that he let a woman move in with him, right? And the idea for him was, hey, look, I've been taking care of all these bills myself all this time. Don't worry about it. You keep your money and I'll just keep paying bills. And guess what? That gets old sometimes. That gets old sometimes because now she's like, oh shoot, I got me my check. I can go shopping. I can go this and I can go that. To me, the only reason for her to have all her money is so that it can get deposited somewhere so it can grow. Because her money needs to add value to our situation. If you got it all, fellas, if you got it all, her money needs to be going somewhere that it adds value to us. How about putting some money in an investment? How about investing in real estate? Something that's going to create an income, right? Just in case something happens. Because look, we know now that there's no such thing as an unsinkable ship. Your ship could go down just like that, like it did for many of us just a few years ago when the thing happened. Just a few years ago. For me, I lost 3 incomes in 1 week. In 1 week, wiped out, just like that. So anything can happen. All right. And you don't need somebody taking all their money out to blowing it on Gucci and day parties, and we have no savings. We have nothing going on. All right. So let's keep going. Money is definitely one of the conflicts that happen, but this happens when you move into a woman's house. Let's talk about it now. Relationship pressure. Living together can add pressure to the relationship, potentially accelerating its progress faster than one might be comfortable with. Did y'all hear what I said? Moving in together accelerates the progress. I had a coaching client one time. She told me, she said, I met this guy online. We liked each other. We hung out. We went out, and we hung out for about 3 months. She said at the 3rd month, I found out I was pregnant. Month 3, she finds out, oh, I'm pregnant. And, they were still kind of in the getting to know you phase. Well, my man's like, well, I'm not going to have my child's mother out there in the streets, pregnant. And, I'm not going to have you out there like that. Come on and live with me. So she moved in. The next week she moved in, he said, come on, we got to go out to the West Coast where my kids are. I want to visit my children. Come with me to the West Coast, right? They get out to California. They were here in Atlanta. They went out to California. He visits his children. His look at the thumbs up. The daughter, his children's mother found out he was coming, and she told him, she said, well, listen, come with she found out he's coming. She grabbed the children, took them to her to play, right? And she said, well, I'll see y'all later. And she never came back. So his time to get on the plane and come back to Atlanta is getting shorter and shorter. And he said, he said, looked at her and says, well, are you ready for this ride? Because he was trying to call the baby's mama and she wouldn't answer. And then I think she wasn't answering on purpose. So he said, well, these are my kids. And she said, well, and I think she was pregnant at the time. The woman was pregnant at the time. And she said, well, like, what are we going to do? I don't know. I mean, these kids need care. My man said, they're my kids. I got to take them with me. My man books the plane ticket for the 2 boys to come. And they were like 8 and like 5. Brought the kids with him to Atlanta. The woman, maybe the next month, goes into labor. Now, in less than like 6 months, she goes from being a single woman. No, let's say 9 months. In 9 months, she goes from being a regular, just a single woman doing her own thing, to meeting a guy, to getting pregnant by a guy, and then being an insta mom to 2 extra kids, just like that. And she said, I feel stuck. I hope somebody's listening to me tonight. Moving in, my number 3, moving in creates relationship pressure, and it accelerates the progression of the relationship. And it might be faster than you anticipated. Because look, once you're in there, and you have to act like you are all in. You got to act like a married couple once you're in there. And you better make sure that that's what you want. All right. Let's move on. Number 4. Number 4 of the 10 reasons you should never move into a woman's house is the lack of privacy. Once you move into a woman's house, she can go on your phone. Once you move in a woman's house, she can go in your bank account. Once you move into a woman's house, she can, look in, she can read your diary if she wants to, if you got one, your journal. She can be all in your stuff. And she has the right, because you came to her house. You found yourself at her place. And that's the way it goes down. So you have to be prepared to share everything. Are you prepared to share everything? Are you prepared to share everything? That is the expectation when you move into a woman's house, that you're going to share everything. Some of y'all don't want to share. So that's why you shouldn't do it. Let's keep going. Number 5, household responsibilities. Unequal distribution of household chores and responsibilities might cause tension. Who's doing what in the house? In my house, the women don't take out the trash. The men do. Okay. Well, it might not be that way in other people's minds. You might think to yourself, women don't take out trash. A guy might be thinking, you've been taking out the trash all this time. What's wrong with your hands? Right? This is number 5. Household responsibilities ruin, like when people get mad about it, it can ruin a relationship. All right, let's move on. Number 6 in this list of 10 reasons you should never move into a woman's house. Number 6, loss of personal routines. The disruption of personal habits and routines, which might not align with the partners, can be a significant concern. You got your routine. You get up, you go to the gym. You might go to work from there. That's your normal routine. You move in with somebody and they have a routine. Maybe they're in the bathroom at the time when you normally would be in the bathroom. Maybe they're like, why do you have to go work out? Why don't you just stay in bed with me? Why do you have to work out every morning? Why do you have to ride your bike every morning? Why do you have to, and after a while, you may actually stop doing those things to please them. Man, I wonder if anybody listening to me today. You might end up stopping the things that you were passionate about to make somebody else happy. Are you prepared for that? 10 reasons. I got 10 reasons, y'all. I'm talking in here today. 10 reasons you should never move into a woman's house. And this number 6 is loss of personal routines. If you have something that you're passionate about, moving into a woman's house could ruin that. Whatever your hobby is, maybe you like to go play golf. She might not want you to go play golf. Why do you have to play golf every Saturday? Why can't you just stay in bed with me? You never spend any time with me. you never, uh, you know, you're faithful to that golf, but you're not faithful to going to the market with me. Maybe I want to go get some fruit and vegetables. Don't you want to do something that I want to do? And you say, yeah, sure. I want to do things that you want to do. Well, I want to do it at 10 o'clock. Well, that's the time. That's my tea time. Well, oh, so you're going to pick golf over me? Here we go. Here we go, y'all. This is real life. Look, I want y'all to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button when you watch this. And let me know if this is real life. All right, let's keep going. Number 7 of our list of 10 reasons you should never move into a woman's house. Number 10, you risk breaking up. The logistical and emotional difficulties associated with moving out if the relationship ends can be daunting. Look at that, y'all. Sometimes you don't want to move out. Let's say you move into a woman's house and you figure out, wait a minute. This was a mistake. This was terrible. This was a terrible idea. You move into a woman's house and you think for a second, wait a minute. This was a terrible idea. Well, now you have let your apartment go. Now you have already rented out your house. Now you don't have any place else to go. So now you feel stuck because you gave someone else the power. Yes, there is a risk to moving in to a woman's house. You risk breaking up and it not working out. Let's move on. Number 8. Number 8 in our list, social perceptions. Listen to this. Societal or cultural expectations might influence the decision, with some men fearing judgment or loss of status. All right. Social perceptions. How are people perceiving you? That's a good reason. How are people perceiving you? There's some men who don't want to be alone. That's why they want a woman around. They need somebody to care for them. They need somebody to cook for them. They need somebody to do this and do that for them. They don't want to be seen out here without a woman. I know ladies probably don't believe that men go through that, but they do. There are some men who go through this thing of not feeling good enough because no woman wants them. And trust me, it's easier for a man to get a woman as a girlfriend than it is for a woman to get a man as a boyfriend. You know what we say out here? Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men are the gatekeepers of relationships. So if you see a man who can't get a relationship, he's pitiful. Socially, he's pitiful. What is wrong with you? You can't get a girlfriend? You're the gatekeeper of girlfriends. And you can't get a girl to like you? What's wrong with you? Something got to be wrong with you. That's the perception. All right. Let's move on. Number 9 on the 10 reasons you should never move into a woman's house. Emotional readiness. You might feel unready for emotional commitment that living together entails. Yes. There's a level of emotional closeness that you have to be prepared for. Look, come on. Is there anybody, y'all listening to me here today? Because this is going to help you right here if you listen to what I'm saying. There's a certain amount of emotional closeness that is required when you live with somebody. You have to listen to their heart. You have to listen to their hurts. You have to listen to what happened at work. You have to, at least act like you care that Cindy is always hogging up the computer uh, and the respiratory department is always slow about their bringing their reports in, and Susie got fired. And listen, you have to be prepared for the emotional closeness when you move in with a woman. You have to be prepared to listen to those stories about Jan, Cindy, Peter, and all the rest of them. Are you ready for that? And listen, you can't just say, I don't want to hear about your problems. I don't want to hear about, guys, you can't do that. If you move into a woman's house, you have to be emotionally connected and open to receiving her in her emotions. If she wants to cry about what happened at work, she has to be able to cry to you. Who else is she going to cry to? If she's mad about something that her best friend did, she's going to talk to you about it. And I know some of y'all don't want to be talked to. Some of y'all want the house to be quiet. You want her to talk to you when you want her to talk to you. That's not how it works. Women want to talk. Listen, women talk to figure out what they want to talk about. Women will talk to warm up to figure out what they want to say. If you're not prepared for that, you do not need to move into a woman's house. Are y'all feeling me? There's an emotional connection that is required. Let's get to number 10. Number 10 on the 10 reasons you should never move in to a woman's house: compatibility issues. We talking about long-term compatibility, and differences in living styles might make moving in together seem premature. Yeah, different living styles. Some people like certain things in their house. They like to live a certain way. There are some people who are clean freaks. They don't want anything moved. There are people who have their OCD that kicks in. Don't move. Put the toilet seat down. Don't move. Don't touch my things. Where did you put the trash bags? Why do you put the plates over there? Look, there's some people that they can't live with anybody. They want emotional closeness, but they are terrible to live with. And once you have sold your condo, man, I hope somebody listening to me today. Once you have sold your condo, once you have told the rental office that you're moving out, once you have rented the truck to put all your stuff in storage because now you're moving in with her, you are stuck. And moving out is not that easy to do. You say, no, shoot, I'll move out like I moved in. Yeah, okay. This is what happens. Different living styles. And once you move in, you have to adapt to someone else's living styles. Are you ready for that? Because some people got some strange living styles. Some women today say, I don't cook. They want to DoorDash every night. You ready to spend $45 a night on dinner? $45 a night for 6 days a week, and then they want you to take them out that extra day? Man, I'm trying to tell you, you dropping $300 a week in food. You better slow your roll, because there are hidden things that you were not expecting when you move into a woman's house. All right. Look, if you guys checking this out, drop your questions down below. I'd love to keep the conversation going on this, but I think this is an important one. I think you need to send this out to somebody. hit the share button on this, because somebody needs to hear this conversation on this topic. 10 reasons that you should never move in to a woman's house. All right. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace and love.